As any American with plans to travel abroad should speak with their doctor at least 6 weeks before their trip if they aren't sure whether they're up to date on vaccines. The CDC previously advised people to make a doctor's appointment at least 1 month before their trip. A former member of a longtime funk band that had its greatest success in the early 80s has reportedly died. TMZ reporting former Gap band member Anthony Baby Gap Walker died as a result of complications from neck surgery. Walker joined the Gap band around the time of the group's biggest hits, including Burn Rubber, Party Train, and You Dropped the Bomb on Me. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
You don't need a cape or special powers to be a superhero, because every time you walk through the gates at the San Diego Zoo, you help fund conservation efforts around the globe. And that makes you a hero for wildlife everywhere. San Diego Zoo. Every visit goes a long way.
Is this the tether?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers lose again to Sacramento. The Kings won all 4 games with the Lakers this season. The Clippers are in Chicago tonight. Kawhi Leonard made the trip. He's dealing with back spasms. He will likely be a game-time decision. Tip-off at 5 p.m. UCLA and USC won their first-round games in the Pac-12 Conference men's basketball tournament in Vegas. UCLA beat Oregon State, a career-high 31 points from sophomore point guard Dylan Andrews. The Bruins play Oregon today at 2:30. Boogie Ellis dropped 25 to lead USC past Washington. Bronny James has 7 points in 18 minutes off the bench. USC plays number 1 seed Arizona today at noon. The Chargers trimmed $20 million from their payroll by releasing veteran wide receiver Mike Williams. The move put the Chargers under the NFL salary cap just in time before Wednesday's 1 p.m. deadline. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
Obama, Hillary Clinton, they got competition. They got competition. Vote for me, yeah. Vote for me, yeah. Wycliffe for president. If I was president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday, yeah. If I was president, if I was the president.
That's Wyclef Jean, and I am not sure at the moment that he'd want to be president of Haiti, because it's a hot mess in Haiti right about now. The question is, what led to the current state of anarchy in Haiti? Conversation for the rest of the hour with esteemed journalist and a friend of this program, Amy Walentz, about the dire situation in Haiti where gangs have killed, looted, and even torched police stations. Because the gangs now control the airports, the current president has actually been unable to return to Haiti camping out in Puerto Rico. There is both a power vacuum and a deepening humanitarian crisis in Haiti that deserve our immediate attention, and so we spend the rest of the hour in dialogue with journalist Amy Wallens talking about the drama in Haiti. Amy, it's been too long. Good to hear your voice. How are you today?
I'm okay, Tavis. It's just been a little hard to be hearing what's happening in Haiti right now.
No, it is hard. It is hard. Let me just start with the obvious question. Why, as one who's covered Haiti for so long, I'm not naive in asking this, but since you went there, why is it so hard for you to bear what's happening in Haiti at the moment?
Because Haiti has had so many chances to improve, and it has so many wonderful people who really want to be patriots and to help the country get out of sort of the economic mess and the political conundrum that it's been experiencing for all these years. But sometimes the best friends of the Haitians are their worst enemies, and that's been the case, especially since the earthquake in 2010, but even before then. As you know, Tavis, there was the marine occupation of Haiti by the Americans in 1915 through 1934. That's 29 years. So it's been hard for Haiti to recover from this kind of thing.
Unpack that statement a bit more. It's a powerful statement. It is a loaded statement, and I want to give you a chance to unpack it when you suggest that sometimes the best friends of Haiti have also been simultaneously their worst enemies.
So there has been over the years something called the core group. I think you and I have talked about the core group before. The core group is basically Friends of Haiti, which means the U.S., the UN, the OAS, the Organization of American States, that is, France, Canada, the United Europe, EU, and assortment of other Friends of Haiti. And these people used to have regular meetings to discuss what should be done in Haiti, sort of like not even a shadow government, but a government above the government of Haiti, making decisions, deciding about military intervention, peacekeeping forces, about what is needed in Haiti, without really a serious consultation with Haitian governments or civil society. And I think that has led Haiti down some pretty dark paths.
Yeah, I think often of my friend Randall Robinson. Randall Robinson founded, as you know, Trans Africa many years ago, and the American people have had no better spokesperson on behalf of Haiti over the years than, to my mind at least, than Randall Robinson. And I thought about Randall last night preparing for my conversation with you today because Randall made the case, and I won't even attempt to do it. Randall made the case better than anybody, the ways in which we owe Haiti a debt. He talked so often about the ways that Haiti has been raped and pillaged over the years and exploited over the years. A different take on your frame that sometimes their best friends have been their worst enemies. We'll talk later in this hour about Haiti's own complicity in this current situation. But what say you about the point that Randall made brilliantly, God rest his soul, Randall Robinson, made brilliantly for all those years about the way that we have, quite frankly, not done right by Haiti?
Well, first let's start out with Haiti made America, because the Haitian enslaved people rose up against the French, who were at war with the Americans and who controlled the Louisiana Territory, a huge part of what is now the continental United States, at the time of the Haitian Revolution. And when Napoleon was fighting with the Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines in Haiti and finally was defeated, he gave up the Louisiana Territory to Jefferson in the Louisiana Purchase and made the United States the incredible continental power it finally became. So we owe the Haitians that debt. That's a founding debt that we owe the Haitians that is really never discussed or acknowledged. Beyond that, we owe them because we've mixed ourselves up in their politics for so long. We've exploited Haitian labor for so long. We have created kind of corruption machine by running the Haitian government and running around the Haitian government and allowing the Haitian government to become really nothing more than a skimming machine from various projects, taxes, et cetera. And and I think that we owe them a lot, and yet we don't know how to pay back. And often, of course, we don't have the right motivation for that payback.
Randall Robinson, I'm sure, is smiling right now. He'd be proud of the truth that Amy Wilentz has just shared about the backstory, the history. And so when you talk about Haiti, you can't do it in a vacuum. You can't do it without understanding the full breadth and depth of the history of the interaction between the United States of America and Haiti. And I delight in the truth that Amy Wilentz just told, as does, I'm sure, Randall Robinson. When we come forward, that's the history. But when we come forward, we'll talk about the current crisis. It's getting worse by the hour. Our guest is Amy Wilentz. I'm glad to have her on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Hey y'all, Mona Swain here from Target's new YouTube series, My Cart is Full, where we feature Black founders and creators highlighting their connection to our community. As an actor and content creator, I love using my voice to inspire young Black women who look like me. When it comes to feeding my shine, seeing myself reflected in Black-owned and founded products at Target brings me joy. Together, we are Black Beyond Measure. Learn more at target.com/Black Beyond Measure.
Cookie wants to be a professional wrestler.
I'm Cookie Serratos, and I'm 11 years old.
She also wants to win all the medals. That's why Cookie and her family make every day count, squeezing out her best with Go-Go Squeeze.
Okay, Cookie, let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze.
Go-Go Squeeze fruit-on-the-go pouches are a nutritious snack made from 100% fruit with no sugar added.
Go, Cookie!
Because when you nurture your kids, you squeeze out the best in them. Squeeze out the best with Go-Go Squeeze. Not a low-calorie food. Products range from 11 to 13 grams of sugar and 60 to 70 calories per serving.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
plus personal equipment.
Meal programs,
a gym membership,
And so much more.
for more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
it's a plus
for all of us.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Sounds different, huh? This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Amy Wilentz, notable journalist, talking about the drama in Haiti. As a matter of fact, I was just reading, Amy, before I came on the air, your brilliant piece today in The Nation magazine. Amy's written a powerful piece. She writes all the time about Haiti. But if you want to hear her thoughts or read her thoughts more expressly beyond this conversation, just go to The Nation's website, and there's a powerful piece that Amy has written for The Nation about what's happening in Haiti. Let me commence this part of our dialogue with this, Amy. I was thinking about asking you, with regard to this current crisis, how this all started. And I caught myself because I realize, as do you, and so before you correct me, I'm going to correct myself, that it didn't start at a particular place because it never really ended. It's kind of like the war between Israel and Hamas. You can't go back just to October 7th to get the full scope of what's happening in the Middle East. I get that. So I guess the question I want to ask, reframed, is what you make of this current crisis, this current iteration of drama in Haiti. My mind certainly goes back to the assassination of the recent president and the crazy story I read about his wife perhaps being a culprit in the murder of her husband. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up when it comes to Haiti, so I digress in that regard. But how would you, here's my question, how would you want to frame, so I don't get myself in trouble, how would you want to frame the current crisis in Haiti?
Well, it goes back to the earthquake. And after the terrible earthquake, I'm sure your listeners remember in 2010, where between 200 and 300 200,000 and 300,000 Haitians were killed in a terrible earthquake in the capital city, basically. And then Mickey Martelli, a musician that perhaps you're familiar with, I imagine you are, Tavis, ran for president, and he won. But he won in a very complicated election in which the Americans more than put their thumb on the scales on his behalf. And that was Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, as well as the OAS sort of went in and finagled the whole operation of the three-way election to put Martelli on the ballot higher up in the runoffs, and he won ostensibly. Then he became president, and he was extremely, extremely corrupt. Really, reportedly, I have to say that, to the extent of stealing money from the Haitian treasury, not he himself, but others. And, it was really complicated, and nothing really happened for the Haitian people who were in dire situation then. And after that, his friend and his mentee, Jovenel Moïse, became president in an election. That was the last election held in Haiti in 2016. Haiti, which is supposed to be like a poster child for the Americans' desire to put up democracies everywhere. Well, that was the last election. There are no elected officials in Haiti today, 7 years later. So that was Moïse. Moïse was the one who Tavis was just mentioning, was assassinated in the summer of 2021. During the pandemic, in a big assassination in his private domestic bedroom with his wife there. The story about the wife participating in the assassination comes in part because she was there and she was mildly injured while he was riddled with bullets, etc. So I think that's where that jumps out of, just the way people said Jackie Kennedy was involved in the assassination of President Kennedy. That was a brief rumor also. I don't know what's true about Madame Moïse. But on we go to that moment when he was killed. He had just appointed Ariel Henry his prime minister. This is totally illegitimate. He wasn't reelected. He didn't give up his seat, Moïse. He was assassinated before elections could be held. And so Ariel Henry was a de facto prime minister, but the Americans decided he should be the one. There was another man who was already prime minister, also illegitimate, but now there was Ariel Henry, who hadn't taken his position at the time of President Moïse's assassination. And then Ariel held on until a week ago, when he seemed to resign his seat from Puerto Rico because he had not been able to get back into Haiti. The Haitian airport was attacked by the gangs in order to stop him from coming in. And also the Dominican Republic, which shares the island with Haiti, refused to allow him to land. So he went to Puerto Rico.
These gangs,
which is where he is now.
Yeah, which is where he's right now. Yeah. And to your point, he's already basically said he will step down so long as they get somebody else in place, I guess. But tell me about these gangs, because as I mentioned at the top of this conversation, they're killing people, they're looting, they're setting fire to police stations. To your point, they control the airports, which they did in part to make sure he didn't get back in the country. So these gangs are run amok, but they're controlling things. I put the word control in air quotes. It's radio. You can't see me. Got control in air quotes. But they're controlling things at the moment. Tell me about these gangs.
Okay, so the gangs are really interesting, and there's a lot of discussion right now, and I think it's valid, that the gangs shouldn't just be called gangs, because that gives people outside of Haiti the idea that these are sort of loose, constructed bunches of young kids who have formed gangs. And some of them are, but they're also paramilitaries. Like, remember in the old days in Latin America? That's what these guys are like.
Mm-hmm.
They're led by people who came out of the police, sometimes disgruntled policemen, sometimes people who've just gone rogue and are associated with the police. Sometimes they're associated with political parties, the heads of which arm them and pay for them. Sometimes they're associated with business interests in the country. So they're not just roving bands of youths. They're pretty organized, the big ones. They're well-funded, and they have a lot of guns and ammo that come in through the Port of Miami.
Who's funding these gangs?
Well, the business sector in Haiti, some of them, who need protection and who want to take control of various forms of income, people who want control at customs. These are ways to make sure that you can continue running the place. It's like organized crime in a way.
Mm. Give me your take on the role or not that the U.S. is playing right now in this present crisis.
Well, they're trying to find a way out of it, the U.S., but they're trying in the same way they've tried ever since Moïse was killed. They're trying to force sectors of Haitian society together with each other in order to come up with a solution. But some of these people just have basic differences. And so there's now this CARICOM, which is the Caribbean nations meeting that happened this past week, where 7 sectors of the opposition to Ariel Henry are sitting down at a table to try and pick a new prime minister. But these are sectors that have just enormous differences. First of all, 5 of them are basically allied to political parties and future candidates for the presidency of Haiti. And then the other ones are a loose group of progressive forces sort of run by elites and the religious. So these are a strange set of bedfellows. They don't get along. They never wanted to be together. Mm-hmm. They have refused up until now to work together. And now they're sort of working together because it's a last chance and a last gasp. The gangs are at the door, these great big paramilitaries with their arms, and the police cannot really combat the gangs appropriately. And now the prime minister has finally stepped down, which is what these groups have been asking for 2.5 years.
There are a number of powerful lines in your piece for The Nation magazine, which I have in front of me right now. I want to just pull a couple lines out and have you comment on them. The piece that's out today in The Nation magazine, written by our guest in this hour, Amy Wilens. Perfect timing to have her on, and always delighted to be in dialogue with her. I quote from you, Amy: "As is often the case in Haitian political disputes, the battles become more intense, the less valuable the prize." Unpack that for me.
Well, what I'm talking about there is the terrible condition Haiti is in. So do you want to be prime minister or president of a place where basically the paramilitaries are at the door, right? Mm-hmm. They're at the door of the presidential palace. They almost burned it down, but they haven't done that yet. They opened up the national penitentiary and let out all the prisoners, some 5,000 prisoners, most of whom are petty criminals who have never been charged with anything but some grander people than that. They're basically taking apart the state, the gangs. Do you want to be president of that? So that's the less and less valuable thing that the Haitians are fighting over now.
I was have been reading, of course, found this story as best I can. There was talk at some point of some Kenyan humanitarian or peacekeeping force that was headed there, and all of a sudden that didn't happen. What happened to that story, that part of the story?
So that's where Prime Minister Henry was before he ended up in Puerto Rico.
Right.
He went to Kenya to try to finalize this deal that has been sponsored by the United States and the UN that would have Kenya sending 1,000 police officers into Haiti to combat the gangs. And Kenya is kind of like, okay, give us more money because we need more money to protect and train these guys. Because, 1, they don't speak French or Creole, which are the 2 languages of Haiti. Mm-hmm. 2, they're a police force, not an army, so they have not used to combating, super armed and fairly well trained by now gangs. So they've sort of dragged their feet, and now that Ariel Henry has stepped down and there is effectively no even visible government of Haiti, they don't want to come in until there is one. If then, is my opinion. I don't know that we'll ever see the 1,000-man Kenyan force. By the way, the gangs can command, it is estimated, about 20,000 people. So the Kenyans will be outgunned and probably out-strategized.
So it sounds to me like it's going to be impossible to bring in any sort of peacekeeping force, wherever that means, into Haiti if the number is not north of 20,000. That's a whole lot of people to put at risk. You see my point. So
Yeah.
what happens? What does an international rescue mission look like?
Well, let's put it this way. What Haiti is used to, unfortunately, is a big band of real soldiers coming in. They had the United States occupation. That was famous. They had another intervention more recently by United States Army. And they've also had the UN peacekeepers who were there for like 14 years. And those are an armed group, not, they don't walk around making the V sign with their fingers. They have machine guns.
Yeah.
So they're more used to that idea that somebody will come in and deal with whatever is the problem. However, those forces have always been politicized because they're run by the core group, essentially, and they have a kind of conservative portfolio, and a lot of the violence that they've done in Haiti in order to control the situation, air quotes like you, Tavis, has been to attack progressive groups in the shanty towns. And, they haven't been entirely appreciated, and they haven't really helped bring Haiti toward democracy, as we see that democracy, whatever it is, and however much we're still attracted to it, is having a really hard time in Haiti.
I'm trying to frame this question right in my mind. Again, I every time I talk to Amy, she's so wise that I have to catch myself to make sure I phrase my questions right so I don't get myself in trouble. I was about to ask you, what do these gangs want? And then I got reminded that there are multiple gangs. They don't all want the same thing. So I don't know how to phrase the question. But ultimately, what's the rub here? What are these gangs upset about? What do they want?
I'm not sure that they know what they want. And as you said, they are a fractured group. So we don't know what they all want, but the major gangs may want various different things. Hang on one second.
Sure, no problem. While I'm hanging on a second, we're talking to Amy Willens. She's a noted journalist, has a brilliant piece out today in The Nation magazine about what's happening in Haiti. I've talked to her many, many times over the years. Whenever there is some drama in Haiti, and too often there is. But these gangs are just running roughshod in Haiti right now. They are, as I said at the top of this conversation, they are killing people, of course. They are looting. They are burning down police stations. They control the airport, such that the prime minister, who was in Kenya, has been holding forth in Puerto Rico because he cannot get back inside of his own country. He has announced that he will step aside when they put somebody else in place. What that really means is that there's really nobody in charge right now in Haiti. And so you see all of this drama on the national news about what's happening in this beautiful, tiny island nation that I've been to many times. I'm looking out the window of my studio. I can see Haitian art hanging on the walls in my building. I've purchased art in Haiti and had it shipped back to California. I love the Haitian people and love their art, their culture, their food, their music, everything. It's a beautiful place, and yet too often there is drama in the nation of Haiti. I was just reading a story yesterday. My friend Mitch Albom, you all know Mitch Albom. He's the guy that wrote that very popular millions copies sold Tuesdays with Maury. Mitch does some great work in Haiti. He had to be rescued by the U.S. government. He and other Americans had to be rescued to get out of Haiti. So Mitch is probably the most well-known person who had to get out of there. But it's ugly, and it's getting worse by the moment. I don't know, as I said earlier, what an international rescue force actually looks like. When we come forward, though, a great deal more to talk about with regard to how this issue does, in fact, get resolved to the extent that it can be resolved. Our guest is Amy Willens. I'm glad to have her on Tavis Smiley.
Unapologetically progressive. Unapologetically black. You're tapped into Tavis Smiley.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has made changes to its measles vaccination guidance for travelers. The agency says any American with plans to travel abroad should speak with their doctor at least 6 weeks before their trip if they aren't sure whether they're up to date on vaccines. The CDC previously advised people to make a doctor's appointment at least 1 month before their trip. A former member of a longtime funk band that had its greatest success in the early 80s has reportedly died. TMZ reporting former Gap Band member Anthony Baby Gap Walker died as a result of complications from neck surgery. Walker joined the Gap Band around the time of the group's biggest hits, including Burn Rubber, Party Train, and You Dropped the Bomb on Me. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
You don't need a cape or special powers to be a superhero, because every time you walk through the gates at the San Diego Zoo, you help fund conservation efforts around the globe. And that makes you a hero for wildlife everywhere. San Diego Zoo. Every visit goes a long way.
Is this the tether?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers lose again to Sacramento. The Kings won all 4 games with the Lakers this season. The Clippers are in Chicago tonight. Kawhi Leonard made the trip. He's dealing with back spasms. He will likely be a game-time decision. Tip-off at 5 p.m. UCLA and USC won their first-round games in the Pac-12 Conference men's basketball tournament in Vegas. UCLA beat Oregon State, a career-high 31 points from sophomore point guard Dylan Andrews. The Bruins play Oregon today at 2:30. Boogie Ellis dropped 25 to lead USC past Washington. Bronny James has 7 points in 18 minutes off the bench. USC plays number 1 seed Arizona today at noon. The Chargers trimmed $20 million from their payroll by releasing veteran wide receiver Mike Williams. The move put the Chargers under the NFL salary cap just in time before Wednesday's 1 p.m. deadline. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Race, culture wars, political turf battles, criminal justice and injustice, the courts. These are the conversations you won't hear elsewhere. My guests are leading journalists, celebrities, and sports figures, elected leaders, and influencers. They aren't afraid to get into it and say the quiet part out loud. With Ariva Martin in real time, your commute just became the most engaging part of your day. Tune in weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. or find us on YouTube. Ariva Martin in real time, when you want it straight, no chaser.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Corner Bakery Cafe is offering you all-you-can-eat pancakes for just $5.99 all month long. Light, fluffy, and served with warm vanilla maple syrup. Try them for yourself at Corner Bakery Cafe. All-you-can-eat pancakes for just $5.99 at your local Corner Bakery Cafe.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Ready to re-examine your assumptions and expand your inventory of ideas? More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now.
More of Tavis Smiley and Amy Wilens coming your way right now. Amy Wilens, our guest in this hour, is a 2020 Guggenheim Fellow who teaches in the literary journalism program at the University of California, Irvine. She is the New Yorker's former Jerusalem correspondent and the author of Martyrs Crossing, a novel about the Oslo peace process in the mid-1990s, among other books. I've had the honor of talking to Amy many, many times over the years, and I'm honored to have her back on this program, talking in this hour about the drama, the dire situation in Haiti. Maybe I'll get a chance to ask her about Jerusalem, specifically Israel and Hamas, before this hour closes. We started our program today with the breaking news of Chuck Schumer's speech on the Senate floor today. As the highest ranking Jewish elected official in this country. He had some strong words for Bibi Netanyahu earlier, in case you missed the first hour. Maybe we'll get Amy's take on that at the latter part of our conversation. It is a major, major news story today, given what Chuck Schumer had to say about Bibi Netanyahu, basically suggesting that Bibi's time is come and gone. It's time to move on, time for new elections. That his personal and political ambitions have gotten in the way of stewarding this country in the right direction. That was Chuck Schumer's take in a nutshell. We'll talk about that perhaps a little bit later before I lose Amy at the top of the hour. That said, back to Haiti. So Amy, it seems to me that before you can talk about a consensus plan, whatever that looks like, before there can be some sort of international rescue mission, whatever that looks like, there's got to be somebody in charge of this. There's got to be somebody. There needs to be some if not real or elected, some sort of titular head of this government, which leads me to ask, how do we get to some sort of interim prime minister being identified, selected, anointed, appointed? You tell me.
Well, one of the problems is that the meeting and the presidential council that's just been appointed in Jamaica, which is where CARICOM, that group of Caribbean nations, has been trying to help Haiti move into a more stable situation. And one of the problems is that once the Haitians there choose a prime minister to replace Ariel Henry, if they ever do, then will that person be considered legitimate by the Haitian people? There's a lot of controversy over this. There's a feeling that these groups in Jamaica are just sort of the same old has-been political operatives, not serious, not new, not different, and they won't be legitimate anyway because they won't be elected. There'll be a transition again. It's a transition after a transition. And there's a lot of concern about that, the instability that will breed. Meanwhile, as I said, the gangs are at the door. Mm-hmm. And what do those gangs want? That's where I was interrupted briefly. Yeah. Those gangs want power. And if you have power in Haiti, you can make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. There's import-export that you can control. You can control customs, and you can make a lot of money on taxing things in customs. And you can be in charge of drug transshipment. And one of the concerns, I think, of the U.S. State Department is that Haiti could simply become a transshipment post, not really a country, but just a place for drugs to come into and out of and get to the United States from Latin America. And that's a big concern, but that is a big win if you're running the country and you're corrupt. So there are a lot of reasons why gangsters would want to be in charge of Haiti. It's not nothing.
Yeah, but that still begs the question. I was watching TV the other night and I saw a promo for a new Ghostbusters movie. And I think of that hit song by Ray Parker Jr., Who You Gonna Call? So when it comes to Haiti, if there's nobody in charge, who we gonna call?
Well, if the gangs take power, there'll be somebody to call. So that's a concern. Yeah. And they have said, quite frankly, that they want to overthrow the government. Well, they did that. Can I just say the gangs have overthrown the government of Ariel Henry, such as it was. Yeah. So they did that. But they haven't actually taken power, although you could argue they've also taken power. Yeah. But now there's no one to call, as you said. Who are you going to call? Which one of them are you going to call? Who really is in charge? Nobody's in charge of a government per se, and that's what the people in Jamaica are trying to work toward. I'm just concerned that it will be another papering over of the main problem of Haiti, which is lack of governance, and that they won't be able to get to elections.
Yeah. And how does that issue ultimately get addressed, lack of governance? I'm thinking of the many trips I've taken to Haiti. You and I have discussed this many times, and I mentioned Randall Robinson earlier. Randall is now gone. I've been to Haiti with Randall a number of times. Harry Belafonte is now gone. I've been to Haiti with Harry Belafonte. Danny Glover was on this program a couple of weeks ago. I've been to Haiti with Danny Glover and others. I've been there a number of times over the years. I've had the honor of sitting in the presidential palace and interviewing Aristide when he was president. I interviewed Preval when he was president. I've told this story before. Amy, you know it well. I was on the way to Haiti once again to interview Aristide the hours before the U.S. put him on a plane and took him out of Haiti. I literally was on a private plane in Miami about to take off, and no less than Colin Powell, then Secretary of State, called me. How he got my number, I don't know. I asked him that. He said, Tavis, I am the Secretary of State. I said, yes, you are, sir. So I figured he got my number however he got it. But he called me and said, Tavis, I'm not letting your plane take off. I said, what do you mean, Mr. Powell? Secretary Powell, he said, your plane's not going to take off. I said, but I'm on the plane. We're on the runway. We're going to take off now. He said, well, you're not. Because by the time you get to Haiti, Aristide will not be there. I was stunned that the Secretary of State was telling me that by the time I got to Port-au-Prince, that Aristide was going to be gone. I got the message loud and clear. I got off the plane. I didn't go to Haiti, and I did not have that interview with Aristide because you're right. Hours later, they airlifted him out of there. So I know this story relatively well, and my concern is always on the part of the Haitian people, and that's my question, Amy. What about the people? It's the people that I'm concerned about.
Well, I'm going to say right now that I think that if you could take a poll of the Haitian people right now, they would be for an armed intervention.
Wow.
Because they have suffered enormously. There are 15,000 people have been displaced just in the most recent gang attacks. That those are normal people in their little neighborhoods who live in small houses and are just trying to have children and send them to school and feed them and live lives and have jobs. And they have been forced to flee. The gangs come in, they shoot people, they take over their houses for no reason. They don't need to do that. They're just thieving. So a lot of people in Haiti see these gangs not as revolutionaries, but as people who've destroyed their lives. And they would like for someone to take charge of the situation, and they don't see the Haitian police as capable of doing that.
I wouldn't argue with Amy. She knows these issues far better than I do. That's why she's the guest, and I'm just asking these questions. So it doesn't surprise me. It would not surprise me to find that she's right, that they want somebody to come in and to deal with these gangs, which raises questions which I'll pose when we come forward with Amy Lentz about governance. That is the big issue that she put her finger on. She's right about that. What does Amy Lentz say about governance when it comes to Haiti? What does she say about a consensus plan, given the mess that we are watching right now taking place in Haiti? We'll do that when we come forward with our guest, Amy Lentz, on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Who do you trust to get at the truth? Tavis Smiley. That's who. The conversation continues right now.
Got a few minutes left in this conversation with Amy Lentz as we talk about the drama in Haiti. So my questions, Amy, I was just talking to my producer during the break. We were talking about the fact that the president of El Salvador recently got reelected in a landslide. He's cracked down pretty hard on the gangs. So if you're right about the fact that in his country, that is El Salvador, if you're right about the fact that if there were a poll taken and the Haitian people really would want someone to come in to crack down on these gangs, how serious are they about that? That's a lot of bloodshed. And so the question is, are they ready for that? And then we'll talk about governance and a consensus plan.
Okay, so the president of El Salvador is a really tough guy, and he has an army at his beck and call, and so he can really crack down. It's very hard for a Haitian president to do that because Aristide, as you recall, disbanded the army because the army kept doing coups d'etat against him.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, let's not have this place where they can always get rid of the elected president if they want. And he got rid of the army, but now effectively the president or the prime minister has no one to call on to really control these gangs. The gangs are more like an army than the army would be even in Haiti. So it's a little different in Haiti from Salvador. But I think, if there were an interior domestic force of arms that could deal with the gangs, the Haitian people would be much happier than having someone from the outside come in, obviously.
Yeah.
They're hoping for some kind of stability, real stability, not papered over stability.
Yeah. So
are we all.
To your mind, what then does governance in Haiti actually look like at its best? What does governance look like?
Governance looks like a president who's not a dictator. It looks like what Préval could have been if he had been a little bit tougher, a little bit more controlling, but a person of goodwill at the head, but who's tough. I think toughness is very important in running Haitian affairs because there's so many interests at play, and if you're not tough enough, they'll overwhelm you.
Yep.
And that's happened many times.
Here's a crazy out of the blue, off the wall question. Aristide is still there. Would he be decent, or would he be appropriate as an interim person?
I always think that there's a little bit Aristide waiting in the wings kind of thing. A friend of mine said to me, Amy, he is now in history. He's not a factor. He himself says he has stepped away from the political kitchen. But, he loves the political kitchen. So I'm not sure whether he's really out of it. If someone came to him and said, would you? Because the thing is, he has bowed to pressure from foreign influences in the past from the United States. Yeah. He definitely has. But he also has been a great popular figure in Haiti. I don't know that he is anymore because he's old, and the new generation is really a huge population, and they don't really remember him at all. So I don't know what that would be, but it is a thought that has, of course, crossed mine and yours, Tavis. And I just want to say, being interviewed by you about Haiti is like, I don't know who should be asking the question.
No, you are too kind. You are too kind. I know the answer. I should be asking the questions because you have the answers, and I deeply appreciate you. I thank you for your time. I know you had a very busy schedule today. I know all the other stuff you had going on at the same time we were conducting this conversation, but you did it remarkably well, as you always do. Thank you for your work and your witness. Thank you for covering the issue of the Haitian people so brilliantly over all these years. Love your piece today in The Nation magazine, and I'll talk to you again, Amy. All the best to you.
Okay. Thanks, Tavis.
When we come forward in our remaining moments in this hour, a tribute to my friend Quincy Jones. Today is Q's 91st birthday. A little tribute to Q when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. Benefitscheckup.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful. They saved my baby's life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Smart talk for curious people just like you. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
You have been listening to Tavis Smiley. This program is just about over for the day. Tomorrow is Friday, so tomorrow the best of Tavis Smiley. 3 great hours from this week you might have missed, and we'll string them together tomorrow in a best of show. I look forward to you checking out tomorrow's program. We close today's program, though, in celebration of my friend Quincy Delight Jones. Can you imagine your mama giving you a middle name called Delight? That's his name, Quincy D. Jones. The D stands for Delight. Today is his 91st birthday. I cannot imagine my life without Quincy's music on the soundtrack. Here's a guy who's lived to be 91, having survived not one, but 2 brain aneurysms. And so there were a couple of times we thought we'd lost Q, and Q is still here and still kicking. And again, we celebrate the life and legacy ongoing of one Quincy Delight Jones. I've been honored to travel with Quincy around the world, including a memorable trip sitting between Quincy and Bono, meeting with the Pope John Paul II at the Vatican. One day I'll tell you that story. What a trip that was. I will tell you this. Q looks at me in the middle of the meeting and elbows me and whispers in my ear, Tavis, look at the Pope's pimp shoes. Look at the Pope's pimp shoes. I looked down, and the Pope had these burgundy loafers on that really did look like some pimp shoes. It was a great moment. Only Quincy Jones can tell you in a meeting with the Pope, look at his pimp shoes. Quincy Delight Jones, now 91. We love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. That's our program for today. Until tomorrow, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has made changes to its measles vaccination guidance for travelers. The agency says any American with plans to travel abroad should speak with their doctor at least 6 weeks before their trip if they aren't sure whether they're up to date on vaccines. The CDC previously advised people to make a doctor's appointment at least 1 month before their trip. A former member of a longtime funk band that had its greatest success in the early 80s has reportedly died. TMZ reporting former Gap Band member Anthony Baby Gap Walker died as a result of complications from neck surgery. Walker joined the Gap Band around the time of the group's biggest hits, including Burn Rubber, Party Train, and You Dropped the Bomb on Me. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
You don't need a cape or special powers to be a superhero, because every time you walk through the gates at the San Diego Zoo, you help fund conservation efforts around the globe. And that makes you a hero for wildlife everywhere. San Diego Zoo. Every visit goes a long way.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
For all the HBCU alumni in the Los Angeles area, here's a rundown on what's happening in the SWAC and MEAC men's and women's basketball tournaments. In the SWAC men's tournament, number 1 seed Grambling advanced to the semifinals with a win over Alabama State. Grambling will play Friday against the winner of today's Jackson State-Texas Southern matchup. In the SWAC women's tournament, number 1 seed Jackson State advanced to Friday's semifinals with a win over Prairie View. Jackson State will play either Arkansas Pine Bluff or Alabama A&M. In the MEAC, Norfolk State has the top seed in the men's and women's tournament. On the men's side, Norfolk State plays Friday against Howard or Morgan State. The Norfolk State women's team will play in Friday's semifinals against Coppin State or Maryland Eastern Shore. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough. If we care enough.